doing the first trimester run through with you guys. I do want our pregnancy journey to be open and honest and raw. And yeah, that was a really hard time and I was like, I just don't feel like me. Of course you're freaking gonna be sick when you're literally telling yourself you are gonna be sick. My baby's gonna love crisps. That's all it's had. I can smell, you know, Mila's poo and be like, yeah, cool, it's the smell of poo. Then I smell my bedside table and I'm like, hello guys and welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be doing the first trimester run through with you guys. I thought we better freaking do this before I forget.
And it does feel like it's been a sprint, it's just gone so quick. It hasn't.
Been the slowest. 12 weeks. You say, yeah, exactly. You say it's 12. I always say, oh, it's been the hardest 12 weeks or whatever, but it's actually only 8 because you find out you're pregnant at about 4 weeks. So it's not even the full 12 weeks, but I'm just going to keep saying 12 weeks because it has honestly felt like so much longer than that.
And also because you're just excited. Like, yeah. It's one of those things, like you don't want to wish your life away.
No.
And even though you want to enjoy pregnancy, you also want a baby.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like, oh my gosh, this is ages away till the baby comes. And the first 12 weeks are obviously really hard because you're not, well,
really hard.
It's up to you,
really
but
hard.
Because of the excitement, because you're waiting, a lot of people wait, we did till 12 weeks to like tell everyone. So that was one of the hardest parts as well, just keeping it a secret because it's just so exciting.
And you just want to share your excitement with other people.
Of course.
And also you want to share the sickness with other people.
Yeah.
The nausea.
Exactly.
Get the advice.
I'm a talker, so I talk about anything that's on my mind, so keeping it all a secret was really hard. So yeah, we're going to run through the first 12 weeks, how they went. I've got my little notebook of just, you know, brief notes that I kept. We're currently 14 weeks pregnant.
I appreciate that. I do appreciate that terminology, including me in that.
Because James has been having to look after me.
I have. My ears are getting sore.
Okay, from the complaining. Oh, also I wanted to just say at the beginning, I don't want any of this to come across as complaining. I did say that on my last Instagram post. I wanted our journey, and I do want our pregnancy journey to be open and honest and raw, and I literally just, as we are usually online, I talk and I just say what's on my mind and I talk about everything, but I just didn't want it to come across as complaining or being ungrateful. If you watch our videos a lot and you know our whole excitement for having children and our unbelievable excitement for being pregnant and for this journey, then you probably wouldn't take it as that because you'll know how freaking excited we are. But for any new viewers, I don't know, I just didn't want it to come across as a video literally just being like, oh my gosh, complaining, when
it's not really not to come across complaining, it's to come across kind of chatting through your symptoms, our symptoms, and kind of like how, you know, certain parts of it has been difficult, and it would be wrong to suggest that being pregnant isn't difficult at times. That would be unfair on women to say actually being pregnant's easy, and you should just love every second of it because a lot of it sucks.
Exactly. We just wanted to be honest, but on what I've seen online, people are, is condemned the right word? I've seen people doing posts about their experience with pregnancy in the first trimester, and you know, people commenting saying you're so ungrateful, you know, just keep it to yourself and that sort of thing, and I just found that really hard to see.
Because then it's unfair if you're getting pregnant now to kind of know what to expect and and you're not on your own, like people do struggle.
Just gotta keep chatting, boom. Sorry about that.
Just had that phone delivered.
I was going to say exactly the same thing. That was all I wanted to say at the beginning.
Good, that's good to say because I think that's the whole point, isn't it? It's like we are eternally grateful and like we're just so excited to be pregnant. Absolutely.
And I say this to, why do I sound like a reporter? Absolutely, James. And on that note, I've said this to James, I've said this to myself throughout the whole 12 weeks, I've said it to people I know, and I'll say it to you, anyone that would listen. This was really hard, the first 12 weeks, but what was harder was trying to conceive. And we are going to be doing a trying to conceive video about our trying to conceive.
The breakdowns trying to conceive. They were just, it's just incomparable.
Yeah, it was.
Like just
at every stage.
And also, just incomparable. And I guess when you're trying to conceive, there's no, well, there is a reason for doing it, but kind of when you're not pregnant, it's just hardship and hardship and hardship, when obviously, at least now you're feeling sick, but I'm pregnant, so it's a massive positive. And
you've always got that positive over your head during the whole time of the pregnancy. That's so true, that really sums it up. Let's run through. I just did some quick notes on here.
This is lovely.
To remind me of, you know, the lovely times.
To remind you what happened. Do you need reminding?
No, but just didn't want to leave anything out, you know? So, 0 to 5 weeks, I've put nothing. I was honestly one of those people that thought that I was going to have no pregnancy symptoms, wasn't I?
Yeah, you kind of underestimate, yes. Carys was there, she was feeling her boobies.
I was no.
You know, going, no, I'm good.
No, don't feel sick. No, I'm feeling really good. Like, honestly, I thought I was unique because in week 5 of pregnancy, only knowing I've been pregnant for a week, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel fantastic. I didn't even know I was pregnant.
Here comes the ignorance, guys.
Yeah, so I also just thought in general, /hoped, I'm sure everyone does, that you're going to be one of those people that has no symptoms, because I'm not a very symptomatic person in general. Like, I've never had a headache in my whole life.
It's the most ridiculous thing ever, isn't it? How can you not have headaches?
What is a headache? I've never had one. I don't really get hangover.
I didn't think people in the world like this existed, and then someone else told me the other day they've never had a headache. I was like, are you okay?
And the same person that told us that also hadn't really had a hangover. So it's like, I think we're just very basically hydrated, you know? I'd never really experienced nausea. I don't get travel sick. I've never had like a stomachache. I just don't get ill.
Carys before pregnancy had thrown up one time from serious food poisoning in a foreign country. And that was it. And
I really don't like throwing up because I never had.
Phobia. And then you met me, and I do throw up when I'm sick.
James does.
And so Carys got slightly more used to it, but still
not myself.
Not yourself throwing up.
No, I can deal with other people now. But yeah, I think that, anyway, we'll get on to that. So, weeks 0 to 5, absolutely great. Weeks 5 to 9. Okay, so this is like a period of when the nausea began. I'd say...
Yeah, leading up to this, it was all kind of like, I'm young, I'm fit, I'm healthy, I'm not going to get...
And I was like, okay, it kind of came like a bit of a ton of bricks. I think it was like in week 5, week 6. It was like a Monday morning or something. I was like, oh, yeah, no, I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling good at all.
Just woke up.
It just came out of nowhere. And it sort of got worse and worse. And then I would say between, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 4 weeks, that was that 4-week period between weeks 5 and 9, was really bad. It got really bad. But it was very general pregnancy nausea from what, like, that's not a thing. Like, every single pregnancy journey is different and every single nausea is different. Yeah,
but
absolutely.
You as a woman, you can say that you feel terrible because men don't know.
Yeah, exactly. You could just be like,
we don't know the pain.
Pain it in whatever way you want. So yeah, I would say it was very general pregnancy nausea in terms of I was just nauseous all day. I couldn't really eat. I didn't have an appetite. I completely lost my appetite. I remember when we went on that lake walk and we got like the burrito, and I had my burrito box, which I absolutely love. It was like chicken and cheese. Didn't want it. No. And then I wasn't eating at all really. And I remember, I think it was about week 7, we'd planned like a big Indian takeaway in my parents' back garden, and I think that was the first time I realised, oh my goodness, when am I going to feel better? When is my appetite going to come back? Because everyone ordered takeaway, it's my favourite takeaway place, and I just sat eating celery and carrots.
Celery and carrot sticks with hummus.
Yeah.
But like, you were obviously eating during this point. We weren't like, you were hungry a lot of the time, but in terms of you weren't eating enough. But that's quite common, we found, in first 12 weeks. Like, it is actually quite typical for women to lose weight early on in pregnancy. Yeah. And you were kind of just eating crisps.
How could I not?
Like, you were eating for days on end dry toast.
Dry toast. So
like, not even butter?
No.
Like, what's wrong with you?
I couldn't. All I could eat, guys, during this time was Quavers, dry toast, so just toasted bread. Pombes. I could have a variation of crisps, you know.
Variation of plain crisps.
Crisps being the saviour, yeah. Plain crisps, dry toast, celery and carrot sticks. Like James said, it wasn't the fact that I was eating those little bits throughout the day. I think it was the contrast of I eat a heck of a lot.
You do.
I eat so much. Like, I eat the same as James, and he's obviously quite a muscly, bigger man than me.
I'm changing my body dynamics. But yes, you have always eaten the same as me.
Yeah, I eat a freaking lot. Everyone's always surprised by how much I eat. So I think it was the contrast of that. So yeah, it was 4 weeks. I really wasn't used to it, and I was like, ugh, blah, blah, blah. But I hadn't actually thrown up because I would do anything, wouldn't I, to not throw up.
Like, you'd kind of started doing this weird thing where, because she'd burp and she'd feel like she was going to be sick, and so she'd kind of like burp in her mouth and try and really hold it in. So if anyone has a phobia of throwing up, it's probably a good time to skip a bit. And just kind of, And I was like, just burp out loud. I was like, but if I do, I think I'll throw up.
Honestly, I'm gagging thinking of it now, but I would literally...
So I shouldn't laugh. I'm like having way too much fun in this video.
Gagging!
She wanted to be sick, but she couldn't be sick.
No, James was the best with stuff like this.
I can laugh now because I was awesome at the time.
You were awesome at the time. So yeah, I was swallowing it down a lot. I remember a couple of times before bed, I thought, like, you know when you know you're going to be sick, the pain in your stomach, your salivering in your mouth, I was literally like, I swallowed it down. Just awful. You shouldn't really do that. I really regret doing that now for that long period of time.
And sorry, it's also the whole kind of like trick, like it's called morning sickness.
I know!
But it doesn't occur necessarily in the morning.
Oh, freaking day!
Why it's called morning sickness. Like, did it used to mainly occur in the morning?
I think I've got this feeling that for most people it occurs worse in the morning. That's
so
where it came
worse
from.
in the morning.
Yeah.
But then you're still nauseous throughout the day or throwing up. Okay.
I mean, I was pretty bad when I had that normal pregnancy nausea at the beginning. I was pretty bad in the mornings, which is why I'd have to like have a pack of quavers on my bedside table so I could wake up and eat them straight away because I'd feel so sick and hungry just all the time. Anyway, it was a really strange combination. So,
is there anything you found helped at that time, or just eating the bland foods and stuff?
Good question, James.
Thank you.
So,
over to you, Carys.
The typical things that help were like ginger. So ginger was really good, but then it gets to that point whereas after a week of eating ginger biscuits, you now feel nauseous.
Ginger juice.
Yeah, you just feel nauseous when you think about ginger because you're mixed in that.
You're a very mental person,
I am.
And I think with a lot of things, Carys has to focus. Like Carys is a very positive person, but when things start to go slightly wrong, she needs to really refocus on positivity.
Yeah.
So I think when you started feeling nausea and you, like you said, you were drinking those things, you then quite quickly turn it into a negative, and actually now ginger juice doesn't help. It makes me feel sick because it reminds me of being nauseous.
Me of that. Yeah, absolutely.
So you've got to refocus.
I know, but it's not that easy, boo. It was very challenging. So the ginger did help, but not for a very long period of time. Then I had about 3 weeks where nothing really helped, to be honest, and I just kind of went with it. I lost quite a lot of weight, which was really sad for me because I'd gotten
quite a lot, as in it wasn't worth. You know, you weren't stressed about it.
I wasn't. It was quite a lot though. It was 11 pounds in 4 weeks, which is quite a lot. But you're right. I did weigh. I don't actually weigh myself. I'd only weighed myself, which was a coincidence because me and my sister were looking at BMI and how rubbish the BMI scale thing is. Like just as I got pregnant, so I knew my weight from that, and I was like, I look like I'm losing weight, so I weighed, and I had actually lost 11 pounds in 4 weeks. But at this point, we actually did. Ring the doctor, and I did get the tablets, which were so they were there for if I needed them, but I didn't want to take them. But yeah, it wasn't at a point where I was like panicking or like super stressed that it was going to be unhealthy for the baby. It's like James said before, it's very, very normal in pregnancy to be sick and to either not eat or throw up a lot and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they do say if you are throwing up a lot and losing a lot of weight, it's good to ring your GP. So I did do that and I spoke to my GP. So that was weeks 5 to 9. Then weeks 10 and 11, so this was like around the time that was leading up to my sister's wedding. Her wedding was like on week 11 day. So 10 and 11 was like leading up to that. And this was when it started to get better to an extent where I was having, and this was also like around Centre Parks time, where I started having really good days, but then also bad days. So I'd have a day, so rather than it being like nausea, it was like, oh my gosh, I'd have a day where I'm like, I'm not even pregnant, like, woo! No, not woo, because that would be not woo. But like, I didn't feel...
We get what you mean.
You know what I mean?
You didn't feel like, you felt completely yourself.
Yeah, I felt like completely back to normal. Well, 90%. I'd still have to be careful if I did one of those little burps. But...
but you were eating well and you were...
Yeah, my appetite was coming back, everything was great. But then I would have days where I was just in bed, feeling really sick. So it was like good days and bad days, which was obviously awesome. So that was weeks 10 and 11. And I think in those weeks, this is when I started to notice that my sense of smell... So there's going to be a lot about this sense of smell thing because this is going to go on to be the thing that we talk about now. Yeah, I started to notice in weeks 10 to 11, my nausea was very much triggered by very specific smells within the house. This is honestly going to sound so weird. I've not had anybody else relate to me with this specific thing within pregnancy yet, but it was smells of wood in the house. So the wooden floors in our house, the wooden staircase.
There was one other smell, it was the leather in the Range Rover.
Yes. Wooden bedside tables and the leather in the Range Rover. Yeah, you're right. It was wood plus the leather in the Range Rover. The only thing that linked all those things, was that they were new. So new to us. So the wooden, wooden doors, for example, they didn't smell because they'd been there all along. And I started to realise that what might have happened is around the time in weeks 5 to 9 when I was generally pregnancy nauseous, was this time where we had so much new things happen. We had the floors...
And they all just happened to be wood.
They did! Yeah. We had the floors sanded right when I first started getting nauseous. We had the bathrooms done, in which there was wooden vanities and cupboards and stuff put in, which was also a trigger, which I forgot to say. And then there was the banister that got done.
And we bought those new bedside tables from
We bought the new bedside tables. And we bought the new car, which had the leather seats in. So it was all new things that I think...
The car was the earliest one. Just
it was actually.
Trying to get confused with the whole kind of link.
Yeah, the car was a little bit, quite a bit earlier than the rest.
We bought the car and then got pregnant the next day.
We literally actually did.
It was that kind of like weekend, wasn't
and that time, like I didn't think the car smelt when we bought it. I was just like, oh yeah, lovely new car smell. No, it went on to be like a deathly room for me. Deathly enclosure.
We now don't take that car anywhere.
We don't. Because it's just been so bad. So yeah, I linked these things as like it was almost like a trigger because of my brain linking it to when I was first nauseous. Obviously I had a massive phobia of throwing up and I would swallow my sick down and all of that horrible stuff was linked to these new things happening around me. Go.
Do you think initially those did make you feel nauseous? Like, or do you think actually they never made you feel nauseous? You were just generally feeling nauseous, and then you linked it to the smell.
Yeah.
Or do you think the smell actually did make you feel nauseous?
No. So I can smell
terrible things.
And feel fine.
Yeah.
I can smell, you know, Mila's poo and be like, yeah, cool, it's the smell of poo. Then I smell my bedside table and I'm like, so
right, yeah.
I think it's that really strong link between if anyone else has ever like only had one period of throwing up or you have a very vivid memory of throwing up, say when I had food poisoning.
Yeah, you now can't eat.
I now can't eat lemon.
Or even smell it really.
Or even smell lemon cheesecake because it reminds me of that throwing up period.
So just before you were sick.
I think my brain really loves to link things and just, you know, be like that. So I always wondered whether if I didn't have such a phobia of feeling nauseous and stuff, whether by weeks 10 and 11 I would actually have been feeling a lot better because the triggers were really solely those things within the house, which was strange.
And it was great this whole time we were counting down to the end of week 12. We're like, the end of week 12, guys. It's going to be the one. And what happened 2 days after the end of week 12, Carys?
I started throwing up.
Carys threw up for the first time.
It was uncontrollable.
During her first trimester.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, 12 weeks. Bleh, here we go. It's a new start. I was like, I'm going out with a bang, but not
going
really.
Into the second
going into a second trimester with a bang. Yeah, but actually, this is why I wrote my notes.
Oh, sorry.
This is one thing that I forgot to say. It actually got so bad at one point.
Oh yeah.
With the bedside tables, we moved all the bedside tables out, but it got so bad with the stairs and the hall and the floor and everything that I actually moved into my parents' house, which is funny because I've actually had quite a lot of DMs from people who saw my story saying that they know people or have been people that have also moved back into their parents' house whilst they're pregnant for the first trimester because they had similar things to me where the smell of their fridge or something that was kind of very regular to them was causing them to be nauseous and throw up. So
that was a tough time, you going back to your parents.
It was the toughest. I'd say that was the halfway, not even the halfway.
It wasn't too long in the end, I think.
It was only a couple of nights.
It was only 2 or 3 nights.
But it was a breakdown point, wasn't it?
It was.
For both of us, I think, because it was a realisation of this is really hard and it's not even just hard because of the nausea. It was actually hard because we felt like our life, which was very much like together in the house, we love our house so much, and the small things in life like snuggling up on the sofa in the lounge, watching TV, getting a coffee together, small things in life that bring you so much happiness each day, we weren't being able to do. And I felt like a moaning myrtle, which is obviously sucks for James because I constantly felt sick, I constantly felt nauseous, everything was very negative. It is hard when I'm a very positive
times
person.
where obviously it's difficult because you're not feeling the illness whatsoever, but you're just kind of sitting there watching your wife or your partner like just feel terrible, and you're like, it's not really.
Yeah, and you're absolutely fine. You could just get on as normal, but the other person is slowly deteriorating. Like, see ya, bye, and
you're gonna go to bed again. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So like we always like stay up late. We always love going to bed together, and I was going to bed at like 8 p.m. and James was obviously just alone in the evenings like do. But those things have to happen and you have to, you know, put yourself first and look after yourself. But it was just really hard because I think we treasure our time together a lot and those little things in life, and that was a really hard time when I was like, I just don't feel like me. I just feel like a 50% version of me, a 20% version of me. I just feel like a really crappy version of myself.
It's quite interesting. Quite a few people, I think one of Carys' good friends who's just had a baby said that, and quite a few people agree that during pregnancy, you just kind of don't feel yourself.
Yeah.
And you just feel weird, and even like on good days, you just feel a bit strange. And then as soon as you give birth, you feel back to yourself. And then when the baby's young and stuff, you're extraordinarily tired, but you kind of feel yourself in tired form. When pregnancy, you just always feel a bit...
Not quite your 100%. Yeah, because you're not 100% you. You've got a little baby. You know, your body, your energy, your fuel, everything is used to help this baby grow and to create this.
All those dry toast and quavers.
I know, the baby was just like, yeah, I love quavers. My baby's gonna love crisps. That's all it's had. Yes, and James was right. Into week 12, throwing up began in week 12. But you know what? It was actually a really good thing, and I wish that I had thrown up earlier, to be honest.
Trigger warning for being sick.
Yeah, it's horrible, I know. And honestly, I freaking hate it. Like, I still cry every time, and I still have to scream and call James and get him to rub my back and hold my hand.
But we're quite different people when, like, whenever I'm ill, whether it's being physically sick or just like dying in bed, I don't want anyone around. It's like, just leave me alone. He's like,
leave me, and I'm like,
leave me here. I'm fine. Okay. I can cope on my own. And Carys is very much like, James!
I'm like, James!
And I'm there rubbing him back and holding the bloody water or Sprite or whatever it is that day.
But it's because I know James is so good at being sick, and he's just so chill about it. He's like, just calm down. Like, and he helps me calm down, because if you have more of a phobia of being sick, it's very easy to panic. And for the first time, nothing was coming out, was it? Because I wasn't actually letting anything come out. Because I was so, hello, oh my goodness.
Hello, Milo dog.
Oh, that's lovely. So yeah, I was so panicky about it. I wasn't actually able to throw anything up, so I was just like, and nothing was coming out. So James is just very good at helping me calm down and just really control my breathing and just relax. Like, I'm gonna be okay. This is just what's happening to me, and it's gonna be fine. And you know, as soon as it's over, I feel great. Like I could eat a curry 10 minutes later after throwing up, because you feel so good. But again, I will say the throwing up was triggered again by the smells. So the flooring, the staircase, and all of that. And that's when I actually thought to myself, right, I think this has become more of a mental thing for me. Obviously, if it was part of pregnancy, then I just wanted to keep experiencing it. I just wanted to keep letting it happen, because I just wanted my pregnancy to play out however it was sort of choosing to play out. But I really felt within that it was more to do with my fear of being sick, my mental link to these specific smells that were coming about at the time when I started to feel sick, and that if I just erased that mental link, I actually feel fine everywhere else. Because I felt this was at a point now for week 12 on to now today, where I feel absolutely fine anywhere else but in my house.
Yeah, we went to a spa for 3 nights, and like we were eating like really like tasty foods, and foods that if you were kind of nauseous at the time would have made you feel sick, and we were actually going on like decent walks and stuff like that.
Just chilling.
Absolutely fine the whole time.
It was like I was just like 100% again. I was just like loving life. Came back literally within 10 minutes of being in the house, I threw up, didn't I?
Which was just ridiculous.
Which was just crazy.
Nothing, no travel sickness.
No.
Because we took the car that wasn't with the leather one.
Yes.
And that's just bizarre, isn't it? Straight into the house.
Yawning, making a sound back there.
Hi guys. Hiya.
Oh, you're climbing on me.
Hello.
Are you climbing
Do you want to be involved? You're looking forward to being a big sister.
Yeah, you are.
Looking forward to being a big sister.
Have you been looking after me? Have you been looking after me at all? No, you haven't. Yes, you have. I know. You give me much love every day. So it was just like week 12 was when I really thought, okay, actually, I need to do something about this. This is very much mental for me. I'm really into like the whole power of the mind. I think the mind is so powerful, and I think that I was getting my powerful mind was felt like it was controlling my nausea.
It's not so powerful anymore.
Well, it was in the opposite way. I needed to, you know, reframe the mindset. So this is when I contacted my hypnotherapy.
Your hypnotherapist?
My hypnotherapist. Whoa, that sounds fancy. My personal hypnotherapist. Yeah, I contacted someone about a hypnotherapy session because I wanted to just have a go. I'm very open-minded and I just thought, honestly, I'm willing to try anything at this point. I just want to reframe my whole mindset towards this whole thing. And I went, that's basically all my notes because I went yesterday, so we're very up to date now. I went yesterday and what?
Just like me, that's all.
She's so cute. Yeah, I went yesterday. Oh my gosh, we're so popular today.
You need to go soon.
I will. I know, we're literally done now. I went to the hypnotherapist yesterday and it was really interesting and really good. We chatted through, that's Mila. We chatted through how the brain works and how there are just so many different parts of the brain and how powerful the subconscious is, and basically we tried to reframe my mindset towards the smells. It was, she did a hypnosis thing where I like put my fingers on this thing so she could measure, I think it was my heart rate. She did this thing where she talked through a story, and then towards the end of the story when you're in a very relaxed, because you can see I think from the numbers of your finger being plugged in, when you're in the very relaxed state, she moves on to almost trying, I think they're trying to speak to your subconscious when you're in that relaxed state and say positive things. So it's like, I will enjoy my house, I will enjoy living there, I will enjoy that. And I know it sounds a bit hoo-hoo to some people, but it reframes you, it just gives you a positive spin on things, because I was creating such a negative thing that I also am a believer of what you speak out to the universe is kind of just what becomes for you, because you, like, if you believe, you will achieve. And it's the same with negativity. I was literally saying to everyone I saw, my whole house makes me feel so sick. Oh my gosh, just I feel sick every single second.
The spa hotel, and just before we were leaving, you're like, oh, I don't want to go home, I'm going to feel ill again, I'm going to feel, it's like we weren't even there yet and you were convinced that we were going to get home, and probably you could just imagine you sitting in the car and close to we get to the house, you're anxious 100%. And you're like, oh my goodness, I'm going to throw up, and you start to feel sick already. And
that was it. I was outside the door, like, of the house. My heart was going so quick. I was like, here it comes, I'm going to be sick. When I go in, I'm going to smell it, I'm going to be sick. Of course you're freaking going to be sick when you're literally telling yourself you are going to be sick, you know? The mind is so powerful in that way. So since my hypnotherapy session, I've just felt really, you know, it's not like you have like a magical change, like, I can't smell it anymore. I'm changed forever.
My house smells of roses.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's just I've had a positive spin. If I walk up the stairs and I smell the smell, I just say, okay, I'm not even saying anything. I'm just smiling. I'm just getting on with life.
You're smiling at the smell. The smell's wafting towards you and you're like...
If I get a strong smell, I just start singing. I'm just like, yeah, girl, put your records on. You know, I'm just...
girl, put your, like...
It's not going to affect me. I'm having a good day. It's going to be a good time. And since that, I haven't felt nauseous at all. I had a little...
Been, what, less than 24 hours? That's good so far.
Yeah, it has been a short period of time so far. I'll keep you updated. But it's been really good so far. So I think that brings you up to date with past the first trimester, and hopefully explained our whole experience of the first trimester.
We do think that pretty quickly we're actually going to do kind of like a pregnancy Q&A up to this point. Are. So if anyone is interested on the hardships that I've been through for the first 14 weeks, then leave a comment below with your questions, and we're going to film that in the next couple of days. So yeah, comment below, let us know kind of what you want us to...
Amazing. It is hard for the partner as well. It is.
It's great. I just had like, I could watch whatever I wanted from 8 PM onwards in the night.
I didn't think that. He was sad.
I missed Carys lots.
It is. You just, you miss your partner when they're not the same.
No gin and tonics on the sofa anymore.
I know. No, like sharing a bottle of red wine on
I know. We went to a spa weekend and we couldn't share a bottle of red wine.
Oh my gosh, so hard. Like the hardships. Oh, bless us.
Oh goodness, feel sorry.
Yeah, feel sorry for us. No, honestly. Aside from all of that, the excitement,
I'm buzzing, and like we're so excited to go into the scans. We've got another scan.
It just keeps me going, like just seeing that baby, seeing
it moves around so much. It's got his arms, and it's got his legs, and we actually had a lot of comments on a previous video saying, "Oh, it's a she. You said she," but we just keep on flipping between pronouns, and honestly, like we're like, woo, he,
we just call it anything,
legs.
Raspberry baby, anything. Yeah. But yeah, so seeing the baby move, seeing the baby grow, knowing that the baby's healthy is just what overwhelms all of the emotions ever. that come with pregnancy. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said at the beginning, we are going to be doing a trying to conceive video, so that'll be coming soon as well. I'll be asking questions for the Q&As, the pregnancy Q&A and the trying to conceive. We'll have some questions in as well on my Instagram. So make sure you're following that. Make sure you're following James as well.
My Instagram is excellent.
He's actually started doing Instagram stories, guys. Thinks he's like famous now. He's like, oh my god, hi.
Hi, you're my pregnant wife.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate you all so much, and we just love sharing this journey so much. Thank you. It's very soft, isn't it?
Gorgeous. Anyway, that's it from us. I got to take my car in for an MOT.
How exciting.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.